knock. And as we are waking up today and getting out and surveying the damage, we are seeing just what the effects of Hurricane Helene has done here on the Midlands. It is now a tropical depression after lashing the East Coast yesterday, including South Carolina. Governor McMaster held a press conference just a couple of hours ago to say this storm ended up being a very deadly one for our state.
We have had, unfortunately, we know we've had 4 deaths, storm-related so far. 2 are firefighters in Saluda County, and 2 individuals in Newberry. We believe there'll be more, but they have not been confirmed, so we ask you keep all of those families and friends in your prayers.
All right, well, you just heard him say there were 4 deaths, but the AP is actually reporting that there were 17 storm-related deaths in our state. Like you just heard the governor say, there were 2 firefighters who were responding to a call in Saluda County when a tree hit their fire truck early this morning, and then 2 more deaths in Newberry County. Now, we're going to have more on that in just a moment, but first, widespread damage across the Midlands as many people again woke up to find trees took out power lines in their neighborhood, and they were in fact in the dark. Dominion Energy posted these pictures earlier today as they are working very hard to get the power back on. Now, in the Eau Claire community, beautiful, massive old trees line the streets, but this is now the scene at Seminary Ridge as that huge tree took down a mess of power lines with it and unfortunately came crashing down on a parked car. Luckily, nobody was in that car. Now, we checked just before we came on air, and that neighborhood is still without power tonight. All right, and over in downtown Lexington, look at that. Incredible video sent in by Chelsea to News 19. This moment caught on camera as a transformer blew right in the middle of busy traffic. This was North Lake and Northwood Road, right near the old Lexington Middle School. So again, we are going to get to team coverage in just a moment. We have our News 19 reporters out live all across the Midlands, but we want to get the latest on this storm, what happened, whether or not the trajectory of the storm changing in the middle of the night is why things are so bad here in the Midlands. Let's get you right over to Chief Meteorologist Efren Afonte. And Efren, when it comes to where it moved up after it went in the Gulf, did it stay more right, closer to South Carolina than we expected?
It did, and we've been talking about for several days that for us here in the Palmetto State, even though it's not heading our way, the closer that center track is to the Palmetto State, the more we're going to have the wind problems. The further away it is, the more we're going to have the rain and the tornado problems. Unfortunately, it got too close, and when it got close, the winds, that was one factor. Now, these are maximum winds that were recorded from today when the winds were coming through in the morning. At Columbia Metropolitan Airport, it maxed out at 61. Many areas of the Midlands got into the upper 40s. Camden was at 36. But still, you're talking about 49-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and sustained winds in Sumter, 58-mile-an-hour winds in Orangeburg, and many areas just simply had no power. And even if it flickered, like in Lower Richland, it was on and off all throughout the morning. It's still a bit windy out there now. Throughout the Palmetto State, winds are all coming out of the southwest, upwards of gusting to 25 to 30 miles an hour. We do have a lot of sunshine, which is a major plus considering what we've gone through over the last 36 hours. Over downtown Columbia, it's 82 degrees, southwest winds at 15, but still gusting to 23 miles per hour. The wind gusts will be tapering off as we go throughout the rest of the night, as skies will be clearing by midnight. And then our forecast in the morning with clear skies, winds out of the south at 10 miles an hour, will start to follow with 65 degrees. Then tomorrow it'll be mostly sunny, southwest winds at 10 miles an hour with a high of 85. So pretty much from right now through tomorrow afternoon, a lot better weather for all of us here in the Midlands. Roads right now are doing pretty good, mainly because a lot of people had the day off. But what's the weather going to be like for the rest of the weekend? Will it be enough if you have to clean up? Andrew will talk about that forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Efren, thank you so much. As we told you at the top of the hour, we do know this was a fatal storm. We want to tell you more about those 4 fatalities that we know were from right here in the Midlands. 2 firefighters are dead tonight after a deadly crash early this morning. Highway Patrol says the incident happened at about 6:30 on Beulah Road. They say that the fire truck was traveling east out on a call for help when a tree fell right on the truck. Both of those firefighters died on the scene. And then also tonight in Newberry County, the coroner there, Laura Neese, has identified the 2 people who died in vehicle once again because trees fell on their vehicle. That happened on Chapman Road in the Little Mountain area of Newberry County at about 9:30 this morning. 49-year-old Robert Wise and 49-year-old Valencia Jones Wise, unfortunately, both died at the scene when a tree fell on their car. All right, just more reasons to stay inside, guys. There is no reason to be out there if you don't have to be. And the governor held a press conference just a couple of hours ago with all the major leaders in our state talking about these widespread power outages. So here's what we know. The National Weather Service says there were gusts here in the Midlands from 50 to 75 miles an hour. Those gusts did what you see on your screen. These are all pictures of News 19 viewers who say that trees fell down on their roads. So we heard from Dominion Energy, Duke Energy, and the electric cooperatives. They all spoke about this damage. They say the damage was historic.
It's going to take days, perhaps well into next week. It is not hours. Hurricanes like Helene, Hurricane Helene knocked out power to 425,000 electric cooperative consumers. That's just less than half.
Have a down power line, make sure you call us and we will handle it. 386,000 customers out on the Dominion Energy system. It is the same number and approaches the number we had out with Hurricane Hugo, that famous hurricane.
I'll say that this storm has caused significant and perhaps historic damage to the Duke Energy system. In counties like Greenville, Spartanburg, and Anderson, we had nearly 100% of our customers that experienced an outage.
All right, you just heard from the 3 major providers in the Midlands. They say this is historic damage, and it will take probably until next week for all of these repairs to be made.